Greetings to everyone. This is Siddharth, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Department of Civil Engineering. Today we are going to see about the topic earth moving equipments. Earthwork is an important process in construction industry where we will be dealing with different kinds of earth or soil profile or soil parameters or rocks and other kind of things, right? So earthwork is nothing but if you are doing anything in your soil particles, that is called as earthwork. And here earthwork operation consists of we'll be dealing with preparation of materials. You have to prepare your soil, that is your before your foundation you have to prepare your soil materials, that is one part. Or the loader truck loading cycle, you can transfer your earth from one place to another place. For using a truck, you have to load it, you have to unload it, that is one cycle. Or haulage of trucks to the disposal place, you have to dispose your soil particles from your site to another part where it is being dumped. Or the deposition of the material, you can store the soil particles at a particular area using different equipments or trucks or dumpers that are readily available. The trucks return to the loading station to start another load and haul cycle. The truck has to return to your original position where it will again be loaded and it will be again sent to the dumping spot, and the hauling cycle will be again be started. So basically earth moving is nothing but you are going to prepare your material, that is soil is going to be removed or replaced, or the movement takes place at this place, and we are going to use some equipments like trucks or dumpers, or even handheld pans can be used to transfer. So this is the basic mechanism that is going to happen in our earth moving process. So this chart clearly gives an idea about the factors affecting the selection of earth-moving equipments. If you clearly see, the volume of materials to be removed plays a major important role. If the volume of your materials is too low or it is too small, you can use very small equipments readily available in the field. You can use that equipments to transfer. On the height of your excavation, if your height of excavation is too high, then more complex equipments are required. Again, the disposal of the excavated materials, it is not a very big issue because probably on every site we'll have a place where all the materials will be disposed, or it can be reused, like the removed material from our site can be filled in another place. And the distance of excavation site to the hauling units, if your excavation site is far too away from your original construction site, again that becomes a problem because the transportation is again a problem. You have to spend more amount of money in transporting those materials. And materials to be removed from your site, if your materials to be removed from the site is too heavy, like you have big rock boulders, you have to use different techniques, like blasting can be done to remove all your materials. Then the type of soil to be excavated, if you're having very hard soil like we have seen, instead of rocks, if your soil is too silty or it's too watery, if you have clay soil, you have to deduce certain methods and you have to use corresponding methods to remove the soil. And the duration of your project for excavation alone, if your project is too high on the larger scale of your time, like if your project is like 6 months, 8 months, or 10 months, you need to calculate how much amount of time I'm going to take my earth movers, like how my earth is going to be moved, what is the time duration for my earth work. So basically from this slide, we are going to see the different equipments that are readily available and which are being primarily used in earth moving operations. The first and foremost are tractors. It is a multi-purpose machines used only for pulling and pushing other machines for agriculture purpose. Here it is given as agriculture purpose. That actually gives the primary purpose of a tractors, but we are going to use this tractors attached to other types and we are going to use it for earth moving operations. We have trailers, we are going to connect the trailers to these tractors and we are going to move our earth from one place to another, and this is the cheapest mode of transportation we are having right now, and we can transport quite a good amount of materials to this tractors alone, right? We have three types of tractors. One is your wheel type, crawler type, and walking type tractor. The typical classification is purely based on the speed at which they are traveling, and we don't give much importance to the speed because our main motive is to transfer more amount of earth from one place to another, and we don't actually care about the speed here because anyway the hauling operation is going to be continuing in our site. So if your time lapse is very small or very big, it is not going to impact on a very larger scale. So we don't give very keen preference to the speed of the tractors. Our motive is to transfer earth from one place to another, that is our original site to the dump yard. Then the second part is application, where we'll be mainly using clearing and excavating machinery and hauling and conveying machinery. We are going to use these machineries in a combination with our tractor so that they will be effective. We are going to use clearing and excavating machinery with our tractors. We are going to use hauling and conveying machinery along with our tractors. So our tractors are going to give power to them, and using this power, they are going to transfer all our earth materials from one place to another. And again, as you have said, these types are only just for understanding purpose. That is our speed is being used. We are not going to give much importance to the speed, and we primarily use these tractors right now. We have other methods of transferring materials, that is earthwork, from one place to another, but still we stick on to this tractors because this is the most cheapest way, and it is also on the very slower side. If you compare with the truck or dumpers, tractors are tractors are slow, but still we use it because it is a very economical mode of transportation. That's it. And the next part of your equipment is mortar graders. They are called as grader or road grader because it is a narrow multi-purpose construction machine used to flatten surface during grading projects. If you are going to flatten any surface, that is earthwork, during our project, particularly on highways, we use this machine very on a very large scale on highway, railway, particularly on like transportation engineering, like during grading projects are very related to transportation engineering. So if you are going to level or flatten the surface, then we are going to use mortar graders. The working principle is very simple. It uses a mold blade or a blade for rough or fine grinding. So here, if you are able to see, there is one blade. It is going to level your soil here, right? The earthwork will be leveled here. This may be towed or motorized. You can use this along with the tractor. You can tow it, or this can be even sorry, motorized. It is a self-propulsive machine. This will be an usually it will be a self-propulsive machine, because if it is a self-propulsive one, the output efficiency will be too good. So motor graders are generally used in highways for flattening any surface, like transportation engineering. This is being used. Right. The next equipment we are going to see in our earthwork is scrapers. This is a compromise between best loading and best hauling machines. If you are talking about best loading and your best hauling machines, this compromise and this becomes a combination when you are talking about scrapers. This is unique for long distance hauling. If you need to take your materials on a very longer scale, and if your loading is too high, then scrapers are the best equipment to be used. It itself digs holes, deposits the material in uniform thick layers. This machine has the capacity to cut. If you clearly see, there is a cutting edge. It can dig or cut, and it can haul. Using this arms, it will haul the materials. It will deposit the materials here, right, in a uniform thick layers. And this is particularly used again in highways for transfer of materials from one. If you are going to destroy one pavement, and if you are going to construct a new pavement, the old pavement can be somewhat destroyed, or it can be removed using the scrapers. The scrapers are very well used in earthwork equipments, and particularly on highway, this is very, very, very useful. And the next equipment is are nothing but bulldozers. This is an versatile equipment. It has essentially a heavy steel blade mounted on the front of the tractor. If you are having one tractor, on the front of the tractor you have a heavy steel blade. It consists of a heavy blade with concave profile. This concave profile is actually the important part where you will be able to move or transfer materials from one place to another. This blade is attached to the body with two arms and a supporting frame held by two push arms. So these bulldozers are generally used to push very strong earthwork. Like if you are going to dig, you can dig, or if you are going to transfer, you can transfer. You can move from one place to another place, and by means it can transfer a very low amount of volume, but the capacity to move or transfer will be too high. So these bulldozers are primarily again used in this type of constructions. Like in your highway, if you're going for alignment survey, and if your alignment survey is over, if you need to transfer materials, or for cutting and filling purpose in your highway and railway, this bulldozers can be used. Thank you.